Big crowd is gathered at the Castle at Park Plaza, and of course there will be a big crowd for the NASCAR Busch Series at Gateway International Raceway. It is presented by Camping World on ESPN2 Saturday night. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern with NASCAR Countdown. Round number 5. Castulo Gonzalez has been game. He is cut, bloodied, injured, taking on the swarming effects from Nguyen, the undefeated 24-year-old. We are in round number 5. Nguyen is in the gold trunks. He is unbeaten at 10-0. Gonzalez in the red trunks, 9-2.
You know, the talents that we see early and that sometimes we see easily, sometimes too easily, and sometimes we celebrate too quickly, are the talents of speed, physicality, even ring generalship, footwork, technique, those kind of skills. But the talent that we don't see until later on, when it starts to show itself, is the kind of talent that Gonzalez possesses. And that's the ability to overcome. That's the ability to make difficult choices in difficult circumstances. That's the ability that can carry you past somebody that has more versatility and has more of the other abilities at many times. And that's the ability Gonzalez is showing right now. And he's hoping he can bank on that to overtake the undefeated fighter.
Guatemalan native who trains and lives out of Lynn, Massachusetts. Just a quick drive north of Boston. Trading right hands on the inside now before they tie up.
Again, you could see that Nguyen understands where Gonzalez is looking to go, and that's right inside. So Nguyen trying to take advantage of that on the outside and do that. Nail Gonzalez as he comes to him. Again, as I said earlier, trying to take advantage of Gonzalez's grit, of his determination, and also a little bit of his one-dimensional style.
Get your hand off his head.
Got that right hand behind the head. Mike Ryan clears that up. Three-punch combination. Not much landing. Gonzalez turns him around.
Whoa, whoa.
A better round for Nguyen. He got the pace he wanted. It was a little slower and able to go back to that right hand, timing Gonzalez as Gonzalez does what he does. Comes forward.
Castulo Gonzalez, Dat Nguyen, 3 to go.
Let's go, baby. You hear that?
Will 24-year-old Dat Nguyen still be undefeated when 8 rounds are complete here on Wednesday Night Fights against Castulo Gonzalez? Good fight to open up this fight night in Boston. Mike Oliver, Cruz Carvajal in a 12-round junior featherweight elimination bout, still to come in a main event. Nguyen, a very likable young man, well marketed in the game already, trading punches here in round 6. Takes a lot of pride in being Asian American in the sport. Says he wants to represent his people well. Vietnamese native who made his way to America as a young boy. Punch track numbers, the punches thrown by round. Remember how Nguyen started off so hot. He is tailed off, but it's tough to say someone is tailed off when there's still over 100 punches thrown around, but such is the case when you open up with 133. Teddy Atlas's scorecard through 5 rounds, dead even, 48-48.
Again, more options for Nguyen. He can use the ring a little bit as he has in a couple rounds. Going to be warned, I think. Nope. I thought he was going to be warned for a low blow there as he got pulled down as he was throwing a left hook to the body of Gonzalez. But he can do more things. He can box on the outside. He can counter. He can time Nguyen or time Gonzalez as he comes forward. Gonzalez, for the most part, needs to get in those trenches and just do it the old-fashioned way. Try to break down Nguyen But again, there are opportunities, as you see that jab of Gonzalez find Nguyen, for Gonzalez to find Nguyen as he stands straight up. Every once in a while, Nguyen will be a very available target when he's finished punching, standing straight up in that punching range. That was very telling just a moment ago. Gonzalez, I mentioned, took this fight on short notice. The gas tank starting to empty out a little bit, maybe. And since he's the kind of style that depends on gas being in that tank, he's not the kind of guy that can be on the outside, out-cuting you, out-slicking you. He has to be inside working. That's going to hurt Gonzalez because a moment ago, he got inside and he put his hands behind Nguyen. That is not, right there's another example of it, Joe. If Gonzalez was feeling full of petrol, he would never do that. He knows that that is the place he must be shining. He must be working. And for him to make that concession, he is starting to wear down in the gas department.
Left hand on the bell from Dat Nguyen. Mike Oliver and Cruz Carvajal still to come in front of this big crowd here at the Castle in Boston. Should be a good main event. It's been a heck of a co-feature between Castulo Gonzalez and Dat Nguyen. That sixth round was the first round that Nguyen did not exceed 100 punches thrown. You can now see some swelling around the right side of the face of Castulo Gonzalez. He's been dealing with a cut near that right eye since the second round. There was a cut on the hairline that's been bleeding down into that eye since the fourth round, and he had some bleeding in the mouth starting in the first round. But he's put forth a very strong effort here tonight against the undefeated Dat Nguyen. Scheduled for 8. This is round number 7. Dat Nguyen unbeaten at 10-0. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas. Glad you can join us tonight. Carvajal and Oliver still to come in the main event. Oliver, a much talked about prospect turned contender who's trying to stay unbeaten.
You know, in a car you see that gauge that tells you where and how much gas you have. All you need to look at is the sudden different behavior of the fighter in front of you to know where his gauge on his gas tank is. For Gonzalez, he's boxing now, and that's not his style. He's trying to kill a little time and save a little bit of time. I think that when you see that kind of drastic turnaround for a guy that has to fight that way and was fighting that way early on to be effective, you know that he's starting to wear thin a little bit. Again, in the endurance department, Gonzalez took this fight on quick notice.
Comes in with a right hand that scores well, does Gonzalez.
And again, Nguyen does him a favor. Nguyen has that habit of standing straight up in punching areas.
That in-between kind of no man's land. And that has been where Gonzalez has scored with the right hand when he has scored in this fight.
Watch Nguyen every once in a while when he's finished. Very dangerous habit of admiring his work. Taking a picture, as the old trainers would say.
Trying to double up that left hand downstairs and upstairs. Gonzalez now to the inside, scores underneath. Had some prime position, landed a left hook, and then walked out the door.
Well, if his gas tank is starting to be depleted, Gonzalez may have a hidden gas tank, an extra one that he's pulling out right now.
More blood on that right side. 1 round to go.